in this ring, we go toe for toe, toe for toe. Toughest environment, round for round, blow for blow, blow. No one not mine, I'm all that storm, rain, sleet, and snow. Camp on my back like a medic, been ready for war. They choking on the front line, ready to go. We done wrong with the jungle, climb out the snow. We don't deal with the foes, can't trust them. Them boys throwing signs, but they ain't saying nothing. I see my bread on my sleep, and when I wake from it, it's about to go down up in the street. We back this shit, so sitting on my feet, cause I'm a man on that fix, running. Welcome to the HO, get we like the wind coming. No, we don't fly with the snakes, slip away from us. Get them your last, watch and see this thing gon' take from you. So the business, get my heart and soul, make the way form. I put my life on the line like I'm big phone. See, in a minute, we in the business, I'm Popeye with the city. We keep it bottom moving like a city. I'm right there back and want me, you can get it. I got that hammer homie like a way. Research, run that badger like a play. Bring it towards you like a blade. I'm with us, we straight. Step in this ring, we go toe for toe, toe for toe. Toughest environment, round for round, blow for blow, blow. No one not mine, I'm all that storm, rain, sleet, and snow. Camp on my back like a medic, been ready for war. They choking on the front line, ready to go. We done wrong with the jungle, climbed out the snow. We don't deal with the foes, can't trust them. Them boys throwing signs, but they ain't saying nothing. They say that they ready for what we gon' get in no thing change. They living in nothing, the rope at the bottom, they hollering the gang. Can't hold in the bang, been killing the bang bang. Nigga wait for the baby, they living and chillin' the same pain. I gotta keep it alive, we clean them up, get them hot, we make a way to the top, yeah. I thank the Father cause he made a way. And all my haters, all stars, they do the fade away. Up from the gossip, the drama, the hate, they to the cheddar. Oh, when they go down, they still hollering thunder. We go to war for them people, I'm talking young and old, toe for toe. Round for round when it's going down, blow for blow. Searched around from high to low, this info got a red dot. Sources in this clip, man, this might just be a headshot. Step in this ring, we go toe for toe, toe for toe. Toughest environment, round for round, blow for blow, blow. No one not mine, I'm all that storm, rain, sleet, and snow. Camp on my back like a medic, been ready for war. They choking on the front line, ready to go. We done wrong with the jungle, climbed out the snow. We don't deal with the foes, can't trust them. Them boys throwing signs, but they ain't saying nothing.
Yeah. Hold up. One more thing. Man, I got to hear that one more time. That joint is so smooth, man. That joint is smooth. I'm loving that. I'm feeling that flow. One more time, man. One more time. I got to hear that one more time.
Step in this ring, we go toe for toe, toe for toe. Toughest environment, round for round, blow for blow, blow. No one not mine, I'm all that storm, rain, sleet, and snow. Camp on my back like a medic, been ready for war. They choking on the front line, ready to go. We done wrong with the jungle, climbed out the snow. We don't deal with the foes, can't trust them. Them boys throwing signs, but they ain't saying nothing. I see my bread on my sleep, and when I wake from it, it's about to go down up in the street. We back this shit, so sitting on my feet, cause I'm a man on that fix, running. Welcome to the HO, get we like the wind coming. No, we don't fly with the snakes, slip away from us. Get them your last, watch and see this thing gon' take from you. So the business, get my heart and soul, make the way form. I put my life on the line like I'm big phone. See, in a minute, we in the business, I'm Popeye with the city. We keep it bottom moving like a city. I'm right there back and want me, you can get it. I got that hammer homie like a way. Research, run that badger like a play. Bring it towards you like a blade. I'm with us, we straight. Step in this ring, we go toe for toe, toe for toe. Toughest environment, round for round, blow for blow, blow. No one not mine, I'm all that storm, rain, sleet, and snow. Camp on my back like a medic, been ready for war. They choking on the front line, ready to go. We done wrong with the jungle, climbed out the snow. We don't deal with the foes, can't trust them. Them boys throwing signs, but they ain't saying nothing. They say that they ready for what we gon' get in no thing change. They living in nothing, the rope at their bottom, they hollering the gang. Can't hold the bang, they killing the name, man. Take away for the baby, they living each in the same pain. I gotta keep it alive. We clean them up, get them up. We make a way to the top, yeah. I thank the Father because he made a way. And all my haters, all stars, they do the fade away. Up from the gossip, the drama, the hate, they to the cheddar. Oh, when they go down, they still hollering thunder. We go to war for them people, I'm talking young and old. Toe for toe, round for round, when it's going down, blow for blow. Searched around from high to low, this info got a red dot. Sources in this clip, man, this might just be a headshot. Step in this ring, we go toe for toe, toe for toe. Tough as environment, round for round, blow for blow, blow. So when I mind about that storm, rain, sleet and snow. Jam on my back like a minute, we ready for war. HOK on the front line, ready to go. We done wrong with the jungle, climb that snow. We don't deal with the folks, can't trust them. Them boys throwing signs, but they ain't saying nothing.
Love it. Love it. Fire. Beautiful flow. Love it. Shout out to KOT, my brother. Shout out to KOT, my brother. Hey, yo, thank you, Stefan. Thank you, Steph Young. Peace out. That Patreon is fire. Thank you, my brother. Thank you for the love and the support. Hey, family, it's only $5 a month, man. Y'all can't beat that. I'm gonna go up, but I'm gonna go up on a little something. But the more I get, I'll keep it right there where I'm at. I'm good with that. I ain't trying to be a millionaire or get rich. Just trying to make things, simple. Keep it just like that. But anyway, I see, man, let me tell y'all something, right? To keep it a buck, if only y'all could see my email and the people who have emailed me, begging me to come on, begging me to do a debate, begging me to do a lot of stuff. But I just been chilling, man, just to show the people sometime when you really miss something, man, you take me for granted. A lot of people take me for granted. And so when you start messing up the name of the House of Consciousness, a lot of people join in. A lot of people join in, and you're happy and you Yahoo. But now when Brother sa.neter is no longer there, who's doing what I've been doing? You got to go to the BS now. Now you got to go to the he said this, she said that, they said this, and they're going back and forth and the bickering and the foolishness. That's what y'all want. Y'all don't want the information, the stuff that I would bring. Who else is bringing on everybody, giving all of you an opportunity to teach? Who? Where they doing it at? Captain Tazoriak, shout out to my brother, is dealing with Captain Tazoriak in ISUPK, which he should, right? All these other groups are dealing with what they do. sa.neter in the House of Consciousness, Black News 102, sa.neter Studios, bringing the whole fold under one umbrella. Understand that you get a variety of information, right? So that's the difference between the HOK, the sa.neter Studios. Now, when you're looking at the Israelites, all you're going to get is Israelite information. You're not going to get no Kemetic information. When you're dealing with the Moors, you're going to get Moorish information. You're not going to get Kemetic information. And if you do, it's going to be a lot of slander and everything going on with it. See? But they call me biased. And I'm the one that opened it up for all schools of thought. Y'all need to understand that. All schools of thought. And so when they started trying to label me as a pedo, I ain't had nobody to back me up. None of my people backed me up. None of them. When they started saying things like, he got AIDS, nobody stood up and backed me up. None of my people, none of my fans base out there, none of my brothers and sisters out there. So I knew that this was some fake stuff going on. This was real fake. You know what I'm saying? This is fake. It's not no real love. It's just fake, man. And that's what made me really say, you know what? Let me take a step back and let me just focus on getting some money. Because that's what y'all always want to be about. Let me focus on just trying to make $1. on YouTube, right? Let me make $1. Being that that's y'all don't care about nothing, instead of backing your brother, having your brother back, y'all go with the slander. Even when I go to the hospital and I put it live and I take a test live and it come back and y'all still listen to these niggas, to these people. You know what I'm saying? So that's what made me say, you know what, let me fall back. They don't really care. So I'll just do a Patreon, you know, and I throw everything up on Patreon. I throw all my stuff on Patreon, but now it's going to cost you. Really, it's not going to cost you. It's only $5. You know what I'm saying? Where I was giving it to you for free. Now I got to charge $5. I got to make some type of income because they work so hard to tear me down on the channel where there's no monetization coming in nowhere. So they want to see me not being able to support my family. They happy when you are no longer able to take care of your family, your children, your grandchildren. You see what I'm saying? These people are happy. So all the stuff that they say about me is really a projection. You need to look in the mirror and look at them. Check. So that's why I fell back a little bit. And I'll be coming back off and on here and there, but I'm going to come back strong. You know what I'm saying? So the reason why Brother Jabari was supposed to come on last week, and then he was supposed to come on yesterday, but he had, death in the family, not once, but twice. And so we have to reschedule that for Jabari. And then what's really crazy is that I see people on my chat saying things like, I love you, brother sa.neter. I love you, brother. They would even go as far as donating. But then when I see my name in somebody else's chat slandering me, you'll see them over there too. Corresponding with them. Great job. Oh, Judah, you good. Oh, Neil, y'all doing all right. And so I'm like, I sit back and I be like, damn, they was just over here. They even donate to me. But then I see them in that chat when they talking about the pedophile and the HOK pedophiles. Y'all know we don't deal with that. Y'all know yes, there was a few people who was guilty of that crime. But God damn it, I don't know their goddamn history. I don't know their background. As far as I'm concerned, God damn it, everybody that's doing YouTube streams probably had a pedophile on their channel, y'all. That's a fact. Because ain't nobody doing no damn background checks on nobody. Right? You understand what I'm talking about? Let's deal with some logic. Damn near everybody that's dealing with YouTube, and if you interviewing people, you probably had somebody on there that was a goddamn pedophile or a woman beater or something. You don't know until you get paperwork. See? So that's why it's just sick to me how we use YouTube to just tear down each other. Let's just tear it down. No one can compete to the HOK. Damn near all these streams that you see right now, I set the trend. Yes, I'm going to take that and pat myself on the back because ain't nobody else going to give me that credit. I set the tone. I put out these debates, and now look at it. Damn near everybody and their mama doing debates. Thank you, sa.neter. Thank you, House of Consciousness. But I don't get that. Thank you, sa.neter. Thank you to the House of Consciousness. There was no one doing these debates. I was doing them live. Brought it to YouTube. Even people criticized me back then. Oh, that's all he do is debates. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Those who've been around for a while, all he do is debates. Now look at it. Damn near everybody and their mama, even the white people, white youth are doing debates, man. Check. But sa.neter, y'all just want to, it's just crazy at this point. But anyway, I'm here to also, let me tell you, I'm here also to let y'all know I just threw up like damn near 21 videos on my Patreon. And I'm about to throw up 4 more tomorrow. This one is new. I did this, let me see, Wednesday. I did this one Wednesday. Me and Professor James Smalls.
How many of you have been to the American Indian Museum, which in New York, which used to be on 155th Street when I first moved up here, but it's now down in the Customs House?
Professor Smalls went in. Yeah, I know when I got the professor, he goes in. He drops some history. He dropped some history. This is going up on Patreon. It will be up tomorrow. This is brand new.
Just off of Wall Street. Well, I remember the first thing I saw when I came up here in '63, and my mom took me there, was the 2 Twa people, black Twa people from Mississippi. They were mummified. 2 tiny little black men.
Mm-hmm.
But they were calling them Indians. Right? And I was, me and my mama looking like, yeah, right. We know, we understand Indians, right? But of course we were here before the Asiatics came across the Bering Strait. We were here thousands of years before that.
Before Columbus?
Before, well, Columbus is yesterday. The Native American Bering Strait, that's 10,000 years
No,
ago.
I'm talking about Africans. Were Africans here before Columbus?
Africans was here before the so-called Indians got here.
Oh, wow. Whoa. Woo.
And if you don't understand that, you don't know.
Wow. Did y'all hear that? Man, did y'all hear that? I don't know. They might attack you, Professor, on the information on that. Professor Small said that the Africans were here before the Indians, the Native American Indians. What? Let me go back on this one, man. Y'all got to hear that again.
History. There's a young brother who worked with the Native races living in it. You got Chinese here, you got the English here, you got the, everybody. You got the Native ones we call Native Americans, who the Asiatics came over the Bering Strait here. You got a bunch of people here. But America is not a race. It's not even a culture. It's made up of multiple cultures. It's a geopolitical state. And we live in that geopolitical state. But Africa is a race. It's not just a place.
I always say, when I talk to these brothers and sisters, I say, so you mean to tell me Dr. Ben, Dr. Clark, Dr. Leonard Jeffries, Professor James Smalls, all of our great historians, they seem to somehow miss this, and I'm supposed to just go with you? These are brothers and sisters that been.
I can show that I'm native to this country. You can look at me and see.
Yes.
But I can take you to South Carolina.
Yeah, you broke down that history already.
And you can go and look at the mounds our people buried, not the graves. We didn't bury in graves. We bury in mounds. How many of you who talking about your foundation can do that? Not one.
Damn, did I go back
to this until somebody brought it to you the other day. How many of you have been to the American Indian Museum, which in New York, which used to be on 155th Street when I first moved up here, but it's now down in the Customs House, just off of Wall Street? Well, I remember the first thing I saw when I came up here in '63, and my mom took me there, was the 2 Twa people, black Twa people from Mississippi. They were mummified. 2 tiny little black men. But they were calling them Indians. Right? And me and my mama looking like, yeah, right. We know, we understand Indians, right? But of course we were here.
All right, yeah.
Before the Asiatics came across the Bering Strait, we were here thousands of years before that.
Before Columbus?
Columbus is yesterday. The Native American Bering Strait, that's 10,000 years.
No, I'm talking about Africans. Were Africans here before Columbus?
Africans was here before the so-called Indians got here.
Oh, wow. Whoa, you even see my reaction. Oh, wow. Whoa.
And if you don't understand that, you don't know the history. There's a young brother who worked with the Nation of Islam, and I got his little book around here, and I was looking for it.
Wow, you know the Indians going to attack that. These so-called Indians out here. They're going to attack that right there, boy. Oh, man. Professor, I'm going to have to call you and see if you're going to be able to have to document that, you know. Well, family, that video is, let me see. That video is 1 hour and 47 minutes. Elder Yara came on to ask a couple of questions. That was good. There you go right there. Elder Yara came on to ask Professor Small some questions. This was Wednesday. And so, yeah, that was a good interview. That will be up on my Patreon. For those of y'all who subscribe to the $5 a month Patreon, that's up there. Also, for those of y'all who missed this debate, I think a lot of people missed this debate. This was a hell of a debate. All right. Thank you, sister. Appreciate that. Thank you, Miss Bell. Appreciate that. Hey, for those of y'all who missed this debate, you can catch it on my Patreon. This was fire. Powerful. This is fire. This year is this year. No, last year. Closing out the year.
Greek philosophy is clearly and diametrically opposed to the adherents of Greek culture, Greek thought, and philosophy. Right? You cannot tell me an apple is an orange simply because they're both fruit. They're not the same. The seeds are not the same. The origins is not the same. But can they both be called fruit? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, language does determine and has a big thing to do with culture. It's not the only thing. But I will be showing you today is not only through the language, that language sets the framework for thought and culture, but the framework of Christianity could not exist without the Greek language. Could not even exist.
Our cultures come from our ancestors. And tonight I'm going to show why many people fail in believing that Greek philosophy somehow, because of language, influenced Hebraic theological texts.
It's going to be so important how we understand that the Jews were speaking Greek. The Septuagint is in Greek. Apostle Paul is quoting the Septuagint, and so is Jesus. It's Greek. You can't get around the language. But we also going to talk about the philosophy of Christianity.
Let's deal with this. Contrasting Hebrew thought versus Greek thought. The Greeks and circumcision. In classical and Hellenistic civilization, ancient Greeks and Romans holds great value on the beauty of nature, physical integrity, aesthetics, harmonious bodies, and nudity, including the foreskin, and were opposed to all forms of genital mutilation, including circumcision. Show me one Israelite in the text that was not circumcised. Show me that Paul didn't practice circumcision. We clearly should see in the text that Paul practiced circumcision.
He said, show me a Jew that has not been circumcised. I'm going to show you the Greek influence right in your scripture. Christ become of no effect unto you. Whosoever of you are justified by the law, name me a Jew. This is Greek. Name me a Jew that say you wouldn't be justified by the law. Circumcision is part of the law. You had to be circumcised. Where's Paul coming from? But I'm going to show you why Paul is saying this stuff, because he's a Platonist. See, we had this time thing. You lucky I couldn't run this all the way and lead up to what I'm getting to. You did run well. Who did hinder you that you should not obey the truth? This persuasion cometh not of him that calleth you. Two says, show me a Greek that wasn't circumcised. And then he lied. Let me show you this. He said that the, were Talmudists. Remember I showed y'all this?
Yeah. That was a powerful debate with Lex Vortex and Elder Yara. Yeah, that was an awesome debate right there. That was awesome with Elder Yara and Lex Vortex. Yeah, that was a good one. And so that is also on my Patreon for those of y'all who didn't get a chance to see it. And here's another one that I will be uploading, another classic that was done last year. A lot of people missed it when our brother Jabari took on 3 at one time. 3 Israelites at one time.
So I want you to be clear that the conversation that we're having is the biblical Jesus Christ a historical character? Is the biblical Jesus Christ a historical character? So I want you to be clear that the conversation that we're having is the biblical Jesus Christ a historical character? Is the biblical Jesus Christ a historical character? And you can see that I am going to be debating 3 folks from the Hebrew Israelite community. I'm looking forward to this conversation being a really spirited one. Let me first say, what is this debate about? This debate is about the biblical Jesus. Definitely not a Jesus stripped of the miracles, stripped of the text of the Bible. I want to be clear that we're really not talking about just an average person named Yeshua or some facsimile of that sort. We're talking about the Jesus of the Bible. And this is going to be an important distinction. This is a historical debate. It's not based on anyone's faith. We're going to truly understand who prevails in this debate based on the logical use of verifiable sources. And you know very well that I am going to challenge people's sources. I expect them to challenge mine as well. And the reason why I think this debate is going to be so interesting is because I believe that my opponents have virtually a completely scarcity of quality sources. They have very, very few. And so we're going to challenge their sources and see if they can put up muster. We will dispense with misconceptions based on focusing entirely on the Bible. Many people have an understanding of what occurred when based on the idea that they have been reading the Bible. And there's nothing wrong with reading the Bible, but we should be clear that the Bible has very little historical information in it. It does have some, but it has very little historical information in it. It will not suffice for them to simply say that the Bible is their source. I want to see external sources that will help us pin down these historical arguments.
You can't use that actual ancient piece of information called the Bible that is actually accepted in the community of historians and scholars and experts. You can't use that piece of information. You cannot. See, that would be something of a personal agenda. We don't do that as historians. We just look at the information as it comes, and then we objectively analyze it. We examine all sources without personal prejudice. We really have to drive this whole this part of the intro. I really want the audience to do this today. It doesn't matter if the source comes from a believer. We are intelligent enough to look at the source. You can't get anything past us, so we don't care if it's a believer or non-believer, right? We have to be ready to accept information that does not serve our purpose if the outcome is not what we desire.
All right. Again, in this debate, I appreciate everyone that showed up for this debate. Those of you who are watching, we're going to be talking about, again, the historical evidence of Jesus. And shout out to Sister Nepal for a fantastic opening. The historicity of Jesus. This is what we're going to be talking about. We're going to deal with the premise here, dealing with the historical evidence of Jesus. What Brother Jabari did not do is give us an actual methodology. Simply saying, no, it isn't, is not a premise. It is not a methodology. Simply saying, I don't agree, right? But let's deal with the methodology here. We're talking about the historical evidence of Jesus, right? So again, following the criteria of authenticity, right? When form criticism questions the historical reliability of the Gospels, scholars began looking for other criteria.
Man, she came with a very powerful presentation. I wish she could have got more into it, but what she brought was very valid. There's a lot of dismissals here, and this is what you will notice when you take a look at people who are critics of the existence, the life, and times of who the world knows as Jesus Christ. There's just a lot of broad stroke dismissals without actual full scope of everything being considered, right? And I'll get into that here momentarily. But what I thought was hilarious, which he started his last rebuttal off with appeals to authority. The fact that we are constantly reinforcing the amount of historical and scholastic consensus that agrees that Jesus existed. And he called that an appeal to authority, as if he doesn't have his accolades under his name, which is utilized to have a subconscious appeal of authority on the audience to give the impression that he knows what he's talking about. See, that's hypocritical. Now, it makes sense why he does this, of course, because Jesus hates hypocrites. So if you're a hypocrite, of course, you would be against Jesus, right? Okay, cool. So now, he just brought up an artifact. There's no artifact that exists to verify. Does it say in the Bible that Jesus built monolithic structures? No. Why would artifacts have to exist? He walked around with his friends and taught people, right? He did certain miracles according to the Bible, but there's no reason that an artifact should actually even exist, right? But with all that being said, I want to get into my presentation. I'm going to share now, Si.
So I'm showing you a lot of good debates that y'all have missed. And here's another one that you will find on Patreon. A lot of y'all missed this debate right here. But now y'all can find it. And this was powerful right here. If y'all know who Judge Joe Brown is and how he gets it in, you will want to see this one.
Don't need any references because I am the reference, and what usually happens when people ask for reference, they want facts, when what they're really talking about is, in an academic sense, the references are also arguments. I don't need any references because I am the reference, and what usually happens when people ask for reference, they want facts, when what they're really talking about is, in an academic sense, the references are also arguments that lend weight to what's going on. To begin with, I'm waiting for our first Black American candidate for either vice president or president of the United States. We haven't had one yet.
There's a reason why we tell people that they need to source up or shut up. And one of the major reasons why we do this is because we want to be able to see the quality of your fathoming. We want to see the rationale by which you arrived at your analysis. And when you start by saying, I don't need a reference, I am a reference, you can see that we're talking to someone who has actually believed things that are ethereal.
Now, I'm looking at a fake person. You can start with her talking about listening to Tupac, smoking dope, and inhaling in the dorm. And when she was in the dorm, Tupac would have been 11 years old. So that's out the way. Washing greens in the bathtub where everybody washes their behind in the dorm. Your mama would have beat the crap out of you if it even thought about that. That's another lie. I was one of those girls on the bus. Well, let's see. I was a teacher in the LA City school system when that would have happened. And there were no segregated schools in California at the time, though there might have been some segregated neighborhoods. So she's lying about that. The truth is not in that woman. And what we are voting for is emasculation of the country. We're voting for the destruction of the traditional nuclear family if we vote for Harris and Waltz.
Unfortunately, I think that Judge Joe Brown has gone for the okie doke. I think that he hears things and he believes them without actually vetting them. Remember why it's important for us to source up. Judge Joe Brown is supporting a white supremacist. I don't know why, but Judge Joe Brown is supporting a white supremacist. This is from Reuters. This is a Reuters fact check. Kamala Harris did not say she listened to Snoop Dogg and Tupac while smoking marijuana in college. You just heard the judge say that. He is wrong. He is wrong. Some people have even gone as far to say that this is her father. It is not. It is not. Here are images of Kamala Harris's father with his two daughters. Does that look like an Indo-European to you? Does that look like an Indo-Jamaican to you? I want you to be clear that these are his grandmothers, Miss Iris and Miss Chrissy. Do those look like Indians to you? In fact, you'll even see a young Kamala Harris sitting on the lap of who would be her great-grandmother. Can you at least even look at the hair of this woman here? I mean, are we not talking about the hair of a person of African descent?
When she was, second grade, which at what time she would have been in Canada anyway. And also, I was a school teacher, so I do recall her claiming during the debate with Mr. Biden, who knows his Negroes, back when she was distinctive about she was on the bus. I was one of those children bused. And then I do recall listening to her blab on about washing greens in a dormitory bathroom, which is absolutely preposterous. So you rely on Reuters, an instrument of white supremacy, for your information and authentication. All right, where do you go with that? So what are you talking about when you say Jamaican? She's an Indo-Aryan. Her father is an Indo-Aryan, not an Aryan Jamaican or Indo-Jamaican. I happen to have met the man, sat at the same table with him. I believe it was on an occasion when both the Prime Minister and the Governor General of Jamaica invited me and my now ex-wife, and we sat at the table. I know blonde-haired, blue-eyed people who were born in Jamaica and are Jamaican. I know one in particular married to a friend of mine who's
Yeah. So those going to be the next 4 that I throw up. I will dig in the crates tomorrow and see what else. Yo, my Patreon page, man. I mean, this is what YouTube have pushed me to do. Sometimes they say, this is what I should have done a long time ago. But sometimes they say you might need other things to push you towards doing the right thing for yourself. And I think this is great. I'm starting to love it because I'm getting support. I'm getting the love from the people signing on board. I think I got over 500 or more people on. I forgot what it was, but the people are coming through. So I missed the days we bought the DVDs. Good old days. Yeah, that was great. Yeah, but nothing in life stays the same. We got to change with the time. How many of y'all would like to see an interview with Hassan Campbell? How many of y'all would like to see that? It's up to y'all. I'm going to just say what y'all want. Talk to me. A real respectful debate. Huh? Come on. I had a nice brief talk with him today. Me and him was kicking it today. How many of y'all would like to see a straight up discussion with Hassan Campbell? Interview. Yes, an interview. Patreon is the way to YouTube. Is not giving me. Yeah. No, what you got to do is subscribe. You got to subscribe to Patreon, and therefore you will get the notifications. I hope you do. You go ahead and get it, and then you can go on there. You can go and check and see if there's a new one up there every day. Where I was looking at YouTube and I typed in how to go live on Patreon. And so my Patreon page is not connected to YouTube. I upload directly to Patreon. You see? So it's not connected to YouTube at all. It's all on Patreon. YouTube can't cut those videos off over there. That's what's great about it. They don't have no say-so on what's going on over there. How you feel about the halftime show? Oh, man. How you feel about the halftime show? To keep it a buck, at first, I really didn't understand it. I didn't understand it. And I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm not too fond of Kendrick Lamar like a lot of y'all are. I came up in the era of Public Enemy, Dead Prez, Eric B. and Rakim. I came up during all of this right here where, with the dropping the knowledge and the information. But what gets me is that y'all notice Kendrick Lamar did not spit the third verse. If you spit any verse, They Not Like Us, you were supposed to spit that third verse instead of the first and second. You should have went to the second and third verse. You at the biggest stadium on the biggest stage right now all around the world, and you really want to wake up black people or people in the planet? Why you didn't? Yes, X-Clan. Why you didn't spit that third verse, bro? I'll tell you why. Because the third verse, if y'all go back and listen to the third verse, y'all gonna say, you know what, sa.neter, you are right. Why he didn't spit the third verse? Because the third verse was talking about how you put us in chains. How you put us in chains, and how you Europeans are the culture bandits of what's going on. The third verse was straight up the message. Skip 1 and 2. Go right to the third verse right now, y'all. Kendrick Lamar, and listen to it. And tell me, and then you'll see why he didn't spit that third verse. It was too many Europeans in there. Too many people in there. You talking about trying to really wake people up? You talking about They Not Like Us? A lot of y'all thought he was just talking about Kendrick Lamar. Nah. They Not Like Us was really talking about all Europeans and everybody else that is not of us. They Not Like Us. A lot of y'all got caught up on him and Drake, and you thinking he just banging and going at Drake. No. He was going at all people who are non-African American or Israelite American or Moorish American. You know what I'm talking about? Our people, us. They Not Like Us. And the third verse would have really killed it. But he couldn't spit that third verse. Why? Because it was too controversial in his mind. Or they probably told him, yo, I don't want you to say this part. Or, they still got control. Don't think for 1 minute you in power and you in control. They got control. Look at what happened to Michael Jackson. Come on, man. One of the biggest pop stars in the world. Check. One of the biggest pop stars in the world. They make you, and then they can break you. Ask Bill Cosby. Ask Michael Jordan. They can make you, and then they can break you. You know why? Because you on their platform. So I don't know for sure, but I know they got them. I know he said, yeah, I can't do this third verse because they will really shut me down. That was talking about how you put us in handcuffs, how you put shackles on us, how we were slaves, how we were promised all of this stuff and never got it. Go and listen to the third verse, and then y'all come back to me and say, damn, sir, you were right about that. Right? So what I'm saying is I've heard so much. And another thing, he ain't say nothing new that Malcolm X didn't say. See, the deal, and I'm not hating on Kendrick Lamar. I want y'all to understand that there is no hate towards my brother Kendrick Lamar. I'm just not moved by that. I've heard it all. I heard Malcolm X say it. See, the thing is with Black people, we give credence to celebrities. So if a celebrity say it, oh man, did you hear him? He went in. He said they not like us. He said that we were enslaved. He said the shackles. Did you hear his lyrics? And we get happy because of that. But Malcolm X said that a long time ago. Check. And y'all don't, you can play a Malcolm X video that will still apply to this day that people are saying, and y'all don't even get carried away by saying that, by listening to that. Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad been saying that. Minister Farrakhan, the Old Testament Farrakhan, been saying this to us. Marcus Garvey been saying this to us. Frederick Douglass, huh? I could go on and on. Carlos Cook, Fannie Lou Hamer, go and look it up. But when a rapper or a goddamn comedian comes by, now they got, oh man, they powerful. Did you hear what Kendrick Lamar said? Did you hear what Dave Chappelle? Dave Chappelle said something. And even what's the little guy name? Oh man, what's my man name? The little short guy, the comedian. Huh? He said something about the Kemetic people, Egypt, the ancient Egyptians, right? And y'all went crazy. Y'all went Buckham. The Black Panthers, thank you. Anita Sutton, thank you. Fred Hampton, we've been saying this. sa.neter on 125th Street for goddamn 20 years, been saying this. Cat Williams could come along now, entertainer. Shout out to Cat Williams. But y'all give those people more credibility than the people who put their life on the line. And I asked Professor Smalls this question in our interview. I said, Professor, let me drop the link in case anybody would like to come in and add on to the build. Let me drop the link for the people who would like to come in and add on to the build. There's the link right there. Let me pin it. And so I asked Professor James Smalls. I said, Professor, mine ain't pinned. I asked Professor, I said, Professor, do you think Malcolm X, Elijah Muhammad, Khalid Muhammad, even you, Professor, Dr. Leonard Jeffries, and all these great minds that came before us, do you think y'all have failed in getting the information to the people? He said, no, I don't think we failed. He said, no, I don't think we failed. I said, but Professor, if you go 125th Street, it's like Malcolm X never existed, brother. The teachings of Malcolm X never existed. The teachings of Marcus Garvey, Fannie Lou Hamer, and all of these great minds that came amongst us have been washed away. I said, during your time, during the 30s and the 40s and the 50s and the 60s, the youth was involved. It was a movement of the young people. You ain't got a movement without the young people. When you look at Al Sharpton's church and, his church, no justice, no peace, it's all old people. You don't have no movement like that. Al Sharpton getting that bag. I understand that. But if you don't see the youth in there, then you know it's all about the bag. He's getting paid. And I got you. But you ain't got no movement without the youth. Who you think Huey P. Newton and Fred Hampton and Bobby Seals and all of them was? They were teenagers. They were 15, 14, 16, 17 years old in the movement. The young ladies, the young women was out there like they was like the cheerleaders, but they were still in the movement. And they was ready to bang for freedom with their man. Check. Come on. Talk black to me. In today's world, in today's society, we care more about jewelry. We care more about the bag. We care more about our cars. We don't care about none of that stuff. You know, we are individuals now. Brother Johnny Red got killed down the block. Oh, yeah? Oh, okay, damn, that's bad. You don't see his ass getting out in the protest. He driving, he gone. Oh, sorry, bad, sorry for that. You know? But family, man, there's no more of that love like that. We got to get back, and I've been saying that a long time ago. If we don't have that love for each other, we doomed, we done. Everybody is for themselves. In the black community, in the black community, we are for ourselves. Come up here and go up into the Dominican community, uptown. Go into the Puerto Rican community. Go into the Jamaican community in Queens. Check. And you'll see the difference. You will see the difference of the unity. Check. Go and see it. We don't have no goddamn unity. We done for. I also asked Professor, where do you see us in the next 4 years during the time of Trump? Where do you see us, man? Go and check out that video. Go to the Patreon. I'm going in. Peace and blessings to you, sister. What's going on?
Hey, sir, how you doing?
Good. What's happening?
You know, it was interesting. I was talking about the same thing. You know, I have been like watching the whole thing with what's his name, brother? What's his name? Meech, Big Meech, and the whole thing with 50 cents. And I said, you know what? It's interesting how he would get upset about the fact that this guy is teaming up with Rick Ross and totally railroad him into like not being able to make money, and then almost like make it so that he can't do it without him. And I was saying, you know what? Black millionaires are losing their mind. Billionaires. What is it about black people when they become a billionaire? It's almost like they lose all humanity about themselves, right? So, okay, I'm a billionaire. I helped you out. You were in prison and whatever. And so guess what? You are with my enemy or whatever, my so-called enemy. But rather than doing things from an actual business standpoint, you take it to the streets. And I'm like, why? Well, how do they become the ones that get the billions and do all this nonsense and say, oh, well, guess what? You know, I don't like this guy. And so therefore, rather than going through a real business process, okay, if you're going to do this with him, okay, if I was the one behind you and helped you out, well, guess what? I get a portion of what you get. You know what I'm saying? Because
let me answer this right quick. First of all, shout out to 50 Cent. We got to understand 50 Cent is very petty. And shout out to 50 Cent. 50 Cent is 100% correct. I feel his pain. I mean, when I say pain, I feel him, you know, because when you do things for people and people come out and they squat on you and they defecate on you, that's not good. That don't sit well with you, you know. 50 Cent gave his family $5 million. I'm gonna say it again. Where was what's the other dude? What's the name?
Rick Ross.
Where was Rick Ross? 50 Cent gave his family $5 million. Lil Meech messed the money up. He messed up the money before his dad even got out of jail. That's not 50 Cent fault. You see? And so Big Meech is wrong. He don't have no loyalty in his body. He knew Rick Ross and 50 Cent wasn't getting along. So why would I continue? I'm no longer gonna go on with this goddamn movie that we doing, this documentary that we doing on you. I'm gonna cut ties with that. I would do the same thing. Here you are. I give you that reminds me of me. My money wasn't that big, but I give these suckers that was with me money, $5,000, $3,000. Next thing you know, you see these suckers with my enemy. And they over there gone with the enemies now. But meantime, you was making money off my back. Not only making money, but stealing from me. Stealing my money. I never bring that out. I just keep that to myself. I don't bring it out. You know? Because I don't need to go through all of that. That's what I said. On this year, I said I want to stay away from the foolishness. I want to stay away from the YouTube banging and all that. I want to get back to what I've been doing and what I'm known for. And that is bringing the knowledge and information to our people, man. Trying to wake our people up with the information. But I feel you on that. 50 Cent, I would do the same thing 50 Cent did. He looked out for his whole family, you know, and for him to do that, now it's coming out that he was a damn snitch, a rat.
But didn't Rick Ross also look out for his family when he did the Big Meech, Larry Hoover, and all this other stuff? And didn't Little Meech actually date his daughter and bring her to the high school prom? Wasn't there like a kind of like a dual situation where he owed loyalty to Rick Ross and also to 50 Cent? So yeah. it's like kind of being caught in the middle of something that
he's a millionaire, so he made it. But what boggles me though is to see a big drug time dealer come out of jail who poisoned the community all over the world, and when he get out, he get nothing but praises from the people in the community. The community.
Oh, no, I'm not trying to praise him. Trust me.
Not you. I'm not saying you. I said his community and the people that he done tore down, the families that you done tore down, and not just through the drugs, but through the bullet as well. And you get nothing but the love and people coming out, oh, Mason's home. It's crazy to me, man. They did the same thing.
50 Cent did the same thing. Wasn't he just coming out of prison when he did Wankster though?
What you mean? What you mean?
He didn't he come out of prison when he did Gangster Wankster, right?
Yeah.
He was coming straight out of prison from as a drug dealer, right? So he had spent time in prison. It's kind of similar, right?
Yeah, but 50 Cent changed everything around though. Don't forget how many times he got shot? Was it 9 times? How many? How many times he got shot?
I think it was 9 times, yeah.
That woke him up. And he went straight from there. Once he got shot, he went straight. You know what I'm saying? And he's trying to make it the righteous way. And look at what he's doing. He's putting people on. He put a lot of people on, man. A lot of people on through his movies, all of that. All of that. Shit, 50 Cent. I mean, shout out to him. Shout out to him. Curtis Jackson. Shout out to Curtis Jackson.
Shout out to Curtis. Yeah, I was just thinking okay, maybe it's a matter of a person feeling in the middle because Rick Ross brought the whole BMF name out with the song of BMF or whatever, Burning Money Fast, and then you have 50 Cent that came out and did the BMF story. So maybe he felt like a split between the allegiance, and maybe he felt okay, well.
Yeah, well, that's exactly how he felt, and I don't blame him. I ride with him. I'm with him on that. You can't do that. I just looked out for your whole family. Not only that, he sent his son to school for 2 years. 50 Cent.
He did. I didn't know all the details. I didn't know that.
50 Cent sent Lil Meech to school for 2 years to pick up a trade. and let them know that you're gonna need something to fall back on. 50 Cent did that. Come on, man.
I didn't know all the
Rick
details
Ross.
like this.
Yeah, Rick Ross is a piece of, dog mess to me. To even do that, why would you want to mess up something good for Meech? Which, if you really loved Meech, you should have said, you know what, I'm gonna fall back, Meech, and let you do your thing right now. Or you could have just been on the low, seeing the brother on the low, like, yo, brother, I'm gonna just fall back. I don't want to be out there with you because I know you know how me and 50 is. That's how you do that. Me and 50 going back and forth. Let me fall back so you can go ahead and do your thing. Why would you want to even mess up something for Meech if you really loved him? If you really cared about him?
You know, now that you say that, and I also was talking about the fact that
hold up. The reason why he didn't do it because he wanted to do it. He wanted 50 Cent to feel like that. He wanted 50 Cent to say, yeah. He wanted to say, see, nigga, I got you. I got you. I get the last laugh. That's what it was about. It was about Rick Ross. It wasn't about no Meech. He just wanted to get back at 50. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah, and I also wanted to say the fact that the whole thing when he was talking about like the concert, he's showing off his Rolls Royces. I'm like, well, show me an orchard or an orchid or like some land. Why are you showing off some Rolls Royces, depreciating assets about your cars and everything? He's not showing really nothing that he have done like that substantial. So I was like, okay, so you sit up here and you're still perpetuating. Like, oh, okay, look at my cars and this, that, the other. Yeah, it's fixing to be money on the floor and this, that, the other. And I said, well, damn, I think that Big Meech did kind of make a mistake with teaming up with a person that's so shallow when it really comes down to it. Because at the end of the day, like, to me, I would seem like if you have that much money, you should be talking about, okay, well, look at my land I have. Look at my apple trees that have grown out of my land or something like that. Not just I got a Rolls Royce that as soon as you drive that sucker off the lot, it don't even account to what you even paid for it. So I was like,
that documentary, man. That's what you didn't want to mess up. And now that you got this thing on your back now, labeled as a snitch, 50 Cent ain't gonna come out and say that if it ain't true, right? Because the first thing that Meech would have came out and said is not true. He would have came out and did what? Showed his paperwork and proved that 50 Cent was a liar. And then once he proved that he was a liar, guess what else he would have did? He would have sued him. He would have sued 50 Cent for slander. How come he ain't do that?
But isn't that also snitching too?
Because if he do that, now the truth got to come out on the stand. You see, everything got to come out now.
Here's the question though. At what point is snitching? All right, so if I snitch on you for snitching, aren't you snitching too? Because you're talking about like a whole case, right?
No, it don't work like that. It don't work like that. You go to prison, and a lot of your homies go to prison, and y'all get knocked down. The whole BMF team go up north, and y'all working together. And so for one to snitch on another one, he was sentenced to what, 30 years? He ended up just doing probably half of that. How do you come out early and everybody else is up there? So that's why they now looking into it like, yo, this dude, he ratted. So when you are into the streets and you're in the street game, you can't rat on each other, because you're in that lifeline. Now, see, a brother like me, if I was to come out and I say, yo, man, you did this, or you try to shoot at me, and I go to prison and say, yeah, it was him. That's, to me, I could get a pass on that because I'm not living that life. I'm not in the street. I'm not selling drugs. We're not hanging out together and, doing crimes together. I'm trying to live a righteous life, take care of my family. See, that don't apply to me. That's totally different. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get that.
I'm a civilian.
Yeah, the only part that I do want to say is that I think it's also still kind of emotional that rather than him actually working it out with Big Meech, he went straight to social media. That's kind of punkish. Like you're a billionaire. You're not like a regular person out here. Why not handle things from a really business? The only person I see things doing from a business is Jay-Z. I don't see any other billionaire.
Listen, Jay-Z is smart. You know what Jay-Z did? He said, shut your damn mouth. Be quiet. Just be quiet. That's smart right there. You don't hear all that yapping from Jay-Z. You don't hear all that talking. What did Jay-Z do when that woman tried to come out? He ain't go on YouTube and start yapping. He called his lawyer. He said, yo, we need to get her in the office and we're going to sue them. That's what he did. He let his actions speak for him. He let his lawyer speak for him. Jay-Z is a smart businessman. You don't see him and Beyonce up there yapping and talking, and no, be quiet. Shut your mouth. And that's what Meat should have did. Shut your damn mouth, be quiet, handle your business. Handle the business, be quiet. And it'll all go away. Let me get this brother, Jose Francis. What's up, brother?
What's up?
What's happening?
I heard this story. Have you looked into the story about the 6-year-old child who shot the police officer protecting her mother?
Where was this at?
I saw it on social media. I don't know if it's true. I didn't look.
I don't know. I never heard of it. But other people did, you know.
They said that she shot the police officer protecting her mother. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, that's a good thing. I mean,
she was at Walmart, and I think that they were trying to like accuse the mother of stealing something, and then she got she made it all the way to the car, and then something where she went into the car and shot the police officer. Because
is that true?
So
yeah.
That's a 6-year-old video. Oh no, that's a 6-year-old. Yeah, so they heard about it. I didn't hear that story. And if it's true, wow.
But number two, sa.neter, protect your platform, huh?
Yes.
That's what I want to tell you. I protect your platform, huh?
Yes, sir.
Because if you fall down, like we all go fall down, huh?
Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about.
Dogs, huh?
That's why I need my people sometime to have my back, man. Where is that I don't have to come out. Hold up, listen. Where I don't have to respond to a video. My people shouldn't even be on that listening to that nonsense. You know, if you roll and you about the information, why are you over there listening to them talk about I got AIDS and all this stupid stuff, knowing damn well that I don't have AIDS? They can't prove it. I proved it myself. I went to the daggone hospital, showed it live, took a test in front of everybody because I know they lied. But what did that do? Did that stop them? Did they take down the videos when they found out they was lying? No, they didn't. You see? So I realized that there's nothing you can say to these people. They're going to continue to lie on you.
Let me give you some wisdom that my
Hey,
wife.
give me some wisdom, brother.
My wife always say, whenever you're in a situation with someone, right, and they owe you money, or they steal money from you, whatever situation might be, right? Look at it this way. It costs you $3,000 to get rid of a no good nigga. So at the end of the day, it costs you less. It costs you less. If it's $2,000-$3,000, let it go, because that's a cheap price to pay. That's a cheap price to pay to get rid of
I remember Nepal told me something. I think it was last year. Nepal said to me, because she see I was always responding back to these dudes. She said, "You don't see Jay-Z responding. You don't see Beyonce responding.
That's what I said. Yep.
Kind of names. You don't see them responding to nobody. See, what it is they actually look at me in Nepal as YouTube celebrities. That's why they got to come up off of my name and use my name to get views. Notice when they don't use my name and they try to just teach, let me just teach the Torah. Let me just teach that. You only got maybe 20 people in there. And that's why sometimes dude get up there and go crazy on everybody because he ain't got nobody watching. But only when you add sa.neter and Nepal and something crazy, that's when people will come in. And that's why they do that, because you go in there and you support that foolishness. None of y'all shouldn't be in there for that stuff. And then you come over here and then you want to donate certain things like that right there. Come on, I see you, man. I see y'all.
And here's what you do to get back at them. When they use your videos, report them. Do not let them use your videos, none of your content whatsoever.
Right.
Report when they use your content. That's all that you could do. You don't have to curse, you don't have to scream. This is my content. I don't want to mix up in that. That's it. You have a right to do that. You don't have to stress yourself. You're 60-some years old, man. You have a lot of health issues you have to deal with, man. Forget about that. They ain't gonna
Right.
talk to you.
Right.
You see this religious thing? You need to get it. I'm telling you this. I think this religious thing, you need to get it off your platform because it ain't. Because I don't think it helps you. I don't think it helps you.
What, getting religious thing? I mean, what's wrong with that? Like, at the end of the day, you know,
I don't think it helps him.
I mean,
I'ma always deal with religion, and I'm gonna deal with all other topics. I'm gonna continue to deal with that. I dealt with religion in the street for over 20-something years, brother. What are you talking about? Yeah, but I dealt with so many other topics. It wasn't just religion.
Right.
But when you look at YouTube and you look at the so-called conscious circuit, damn near all of them dealing with religion. All of them do.
Right.
From science to history to religion.
But what I think you should do, sa.neter, you need to flip the script on them. When they come on your if they cannot show you the language, then you shouldn't deal with them.
Okay.
You need to let them show you the language and what it means in the original language.
And then when you say we need to stop dealing with religion, how can you say that when the majority of a lot of our people is on religion? Just because, like, let's say, just because you may be past it or certain other people may be past it, come on, man, that's only a little few, but there's a lot of our people.
What's on that? Then let's flip the script on it.
Go ahead.
Language battles now. If you can't speak the language, don't come talking. If you can't show me what it means in the original language, then don't come on the platform. Language now. Show me in the language. Break out a language dictionary and show me a concordance with what the original word means. If you can't do that,
nobody speaks Greek, sir. Nobody speaks Greek.
And do any of these people speak Kemetic language? You want us to stop talking about Kemet?
No. What I'm saying is, if you're going to have these discussions, let them break out a concordance and show the original meaning of the word.
Honey, the concordance, all that stuff is questionable. I'm sorry. Let me be quiet. I'm not.
But that's the same thing of saying, well, if you're going to talk about the Kemetic, let me see you bring out the Kemetic teachers and break down the word of what you're talking about. See, it goes both ways.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you. I think you should going to talk to a certain extent. I agree with you.
Well, if I may, peace to everybody. Peace, Jose. Of course, Genesis, I'll check your message. Like I saw you said, I didn't check it. Peace to sa.neter, of course, King of Consciousness. I see you in the chat. Unbiased Sports, sa.neter. We got to get unbiased.
Unbiased read the Greek.
Yep, he reads the Greek. Let me say this. I feel like you're repeating some rhetoric that has been, dare I say, spewed around YouTube lately, because there are people who, because of where they are. All right, first let me start from the beginning. Sa.neter made this community. He made all the consciousness community. If you have a Black consciousness channel out there that's really doing well, I love them. Kiss to the sky. But it all came from House of Consciousness. So when sa.neter opened up the House of Consciousness, he'll correct me if I'm wrong. He didn't say, you have to do this. And that's the beautiful thing about it. He said, come to the table. Let me see what you're teaching. Point blank, period. And it just so happened that a bunch of amazing scholars came in the beginning and they laid the foundation. However, he never was exclusive or excluding people from the table like we have now. People who want to go around and remind us that they have degrees and tell us how stupid the majority of the audience is. And so then they continue to spew that toxic rhetoric that you're not worthy to come in and teach. Anybody, I would say Professor X with her, I live in the sun, I eat sunshine, whatever she says, shout out to that sister. She can still come to the table, but she's going to get her information vetted and attacked, and people are going to come for her information. So it shouldn't be like, don't let these people do this and don't let these people do that. I love the House of Consciousness because anybody can come in here and do their teaching, and then it is critiqued and then it's scrutinized. That's why it's called the toughest environment. But if we're going to be like, oh, well, you're not even allowed to come in, it goes away from what sa.neter started.